How's it going, everybody? I wanted to put together a quick video here. It's Friday, and I've been pretty systematically going through the CCDE prep, specifically the wireless section, and I've been spending a lot of time in reading the CCNP wireless official certification guide for both implementation and design. It's actually a pretty good read. And then I've also been going through Network Dojo content. So if you don't know who Network Dojo is, they're basically the top end wireless instruction company out there. Jeff Redsink, former IP expert instructor. So I've been leveraging a lot of his content for wireless. I've known Jeff for a long time. I've known of him. I should say, not that I've known him. I've known of him for a long time. Met him once at Live. Was it 2019? Yeah, I think that was one time that I did meet him. But anyway, the cool thing about it is I've been going through the wireless section, and even though there's not a lot to cover here, when it comes to indoor and outdoor RF deployments, and then high availability controller based mobility and controller placement, and then layer 2, layer 3 roaming, and AP groups, AP modes. Even though there's not a lot to dig into, I am intentionally taking it further than that. So I'm looking at implementation, I'm looking at design. I actually have a 2504 wireless controller in the basement stood up right now. And I have a 3702 AP that's joined to that controller. And as a matter of fact, I'll bring this up real quick for you just so you guys can see what this looks like. And so here is my LAN controller. I'll go ahead and log in. And I have one access point attached to it. And so we'll go, this is the newer UI that you can see on newer versions of code. And we'll click on advanced, but this is the older version of the GUI. And as you can see, I've got some rogue APs that I've detected and things like that. And if we go over here to wireless LANs, I've got a couple of wireless LANs that I've enabled and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool what you can do. What I'm planning on doing is creating some content around this. And if we look at, I'll see if I can't pull it up real quick on Cisco's website. One of the things that I plan on doing here in the short term is I want to do controller high availability. So I have, over the course of the years, I don't know how long it's actually been, I have purchased a total of 3 2504s. I have one power adapter, so I need to go buy another power adapter. But if I come down here to certifications, and I look at, let's see here, where am I looking here? I want to look at enterprise. Yeah, let's look at enterprise. Let's learn about CCNA. One of the things that I'm planning on doing is looking at exams and training. If I come down here and I look at the exam details, I'm planning on going through the network access. Yeah, it's network access. So I'm planning on putting together a little bit of content for describe wireless architectures and AP modes. Then I'm planning on doing describe physical infrastructure connections of WLAN components, AP, WIL-C, access trunk ports, and lag. And then describe management access. That's technically that still applies because you can do you can telnet to the controller or the access point, and you can pull up the web GUI. Here's the web GUI, and then interpret the wireless LAN GUI configuration for client connectivity and WLAN creation, security settings, QoS profiles, and advanced settings. So essentially, when they say this specific line right here, what they want you to do is these are all of the settings when on a WLAN. So if I was to click on WLAN 2 because it's an active, what they're talking about is this stuff up here. So here we have the general settings. This is the WLAN VLAN 35, and they have it's enabled, and right now the security, I have a pre-shared key attached to it. And radio policy, I'm applying it to all radios, and there is an interface on the controller that I've attached this to. So, and I am broadcasting the SSID. So if I was to pull up my phone and look at it, there would be one there. Now if I come over here to security, under layer 2 security, I am doing a WPA2 layer 2 security. I have a WPA2 policy. I'm using AES for encryption. I have a pre-shared key deployed, and I have an ASCII format. The password is just Cisco because it's here in my house. I don't need to worry about it. And I don't have anything else going on at this point. I don't have AAA turned on to do any type of 802.1x type of authentication or anything like that. I did play around with layer 3 where I turned it on and I did web redirect to where you had to do the acceptable use policy and things like that. So there's a lot of cool things that you can do with wireless and stuff like that, but that's kind of what I've been dealing with. I have a couple of wireless networks deployed. I'm focusing right now heavily on AirOS, which means I'm using your traditional wireless controller like this. Now the CCNP level does dive into the 9800, and one of the things that I've been doing is with Network Dojo, they do have coverage for that. So they do go into how the 9800 works. I do have the 9800 code. I just haven't deployed it in my lab. But my goal is to go through AirOS first and then circle back. As a matter of fact, while I'm sitting here talking to you guys, this will update. Let me go ahead and change my wireless network here on my phone. I could do it on my iPad too if I wanted to, but it's sitting here. Actually, I'll do both. Why not, right? So I'll go to settings, I'll go to connections, I'll go to Wi-Fi, and then I should see, once it scans, I should see WLAN VLAN 35, which I do, and now it's connecting. And then after a couple of moments, once it okay, now I have one client attached. Current client is 1, right there. So that's my Android phone that I just joined to the wireless network. Now I'm going to pull up my iPad, which is also connected. So I'll connect him up. Let me log into my iPad real quick, and then I will go away. Let's go to allow. We're going to click on. I'm waiting for the other networks to pop up. WLAN VLAN 35, and now you need to enter the password. And then, actually, I think it might be 1, 2, 3. Join. Let's see if that works. Yep, that joined. So I'm on now. There should be 2 clients, and there are. So if I look at the details, I happen to have 172.16.35. 15 and 16. So I have both. I have my phone and I have my iPad both connected to that new wireless network that I created on this SSID, or that SSID, and on that controller that's attached to, and on that access point. So pretty cool stuff. It's nothing spectacular. It's no different than having your own home wireless, but it's one of those things that I've been working on here for a little bit now, and going through a lot of material, trying to learn, and it's been a really cool experience thus far. And I would definitely recommend, if you can swing it to do some wireless, I would definitely say that it's more valuable to go out and buy a controller and go buy a couple access points and try to get it working in your home lab versus trying to do it in like Packet Tracer or something like that, where you actually you have to actually know what you're doing. So I'm going to be creating some content here on how to make all this stuff work. I'll go through and show you guys how to stand up the controller, get the controller connected to your switch, get your access point stood up, get your access point connected to the switch, and then connect your access point to your controller through, there's a variety of different methods. And then once you've got that done, then you can swing over and you can start creating wireless networks on the controller that will then be pushed down to the access points and then will broadcast SSIDs that your wireless clients can then connect to. So it's actually pretty cool, some of the stuff that you can do. And at the end of the day, yes, it's not that complicated, right? There's nothing spectacular about it, but the simple fact that it does require you to spend some time to learn something new and get comfortable with it. Once you have this piece done, the next step would be to add in Cisco ICE and then a Windows server to do Active Directory so that you can take it to the 802.1x level. So my personal laptop, I will have to actually upgrade to Windows 11 Pro, because right now I'm on the Home Edition, and what my plan to do is to upgrade its operating system so that I can join it to a domain, and then I can use that as a base to connect and start doing all the 802.1x functionality. That's my goal. So you'll need to domain it and things like that. I don't know if I necessarily have to do that, but that's my game plan, because all the training I'm watching currently says that you need to have a domain, and in order for a lot of the things to work through Active Directory and things like that, you need to have that connectivity in place. So I'm probably going to upgrade my connectivity so that I have so I have Windows Server deployed, I'll have Cisco ICE deployed, so I can do all the 802.1x capabilities, and then I'll upgrade my operating system to Windows Pro so that I can do all those things that I'm looking to do. So pretty cool stuff when you think about it. But at the end of the day, to me, this is what's really needed when you want to learn how to do stuff. You really need to play with it so you understand what the steps are that you have to go through. Because, just watching videos and taking notes, yeah, I remember some of the things, but there's a lot of content to go through. And in my opinion, the more you can actually do it, either in the GUI or in the CLI, to make it a reality, that is way more valuable of a learning tool than just listening to somebody, jabber on about how something works, or take a bunch of notes, because then it's just theory. You really don't have any practical experience doing it. And to me, practical experience is going to be 10 times more valuable than anything you could ever do just by reading a book. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys for stopping by, hanging out with me, and I'll catch all of you guys in the next video.